Hey Carly, it's
Hey.
good to see you again. I appreciate that you are sitting here with me today. I know being here and talking about this, about what happened at school is very, very difficult, and I admire your incredible strength for being here. Um, how are you feeling right now as we begin?
Um, I am feeling a little bit anxious. It's been difficult for me to even want to leave my house. Um, I have not really been going to school. I feel like any anywhere that's not here that is
Mhm.
outside of my control is a threat. And I feel like I'm always afraid.
That is very understandable. Um, After living through what you witnessed, I think that's a very normal response. You talked about having trouble getting up or leaving the house. Um, when you think about going back through those doors, those school doors, what is the loudest thought or feeling that that kind of hits you as you think about that? You mentioned, that your attendance had been low since then. Tell me about that. What thoughts occur to you when you think about that?
So, like when I get to school and I pull up and I park and then I get out and I start walking, it's like I freeze at the threshold and then it's like these flashbacks and like all these pictures in my head that are like it's like a freeze frame of all of the chaos and I can just hear I'm inundated with screams and gunshots and it feels like I'm right back in it. And so then I want to avoid that. So I'm just not putting myself in that position in the first place. Like I don't even want to be there.
So I hear you say that walking back into school feels like you're walking back into danger and the horror of that day. But as you sit here safely talking to me about this, and you seem like you're able to process some of that fear, um, while you're sitting here. So I just want you to be mindful of the fact that you are, in fact, you know, making headway in this process. You're going to go through this process of grieving and fear that's associated with the traumatic event that you've lived through. And as you do, I just want you to acknowledge that you are making steps in the right direction by being able to sit here and talk about this and feel safe, um, which is your reality, versus what in your head is expecting, what you're expecting to have happen, which is the screaming and the blood and the running and the fear and the immense trauma that you remember from that day versus how you feel right now and how you're regaining some control over those thoughts by sitting here and explaining yourself in a place of safety.
Yeah, I think I do feel safe here, but even just thinking about it makes me feel sick to my stomach, like I want to throw up. And it's there's just so much anxiety around being back there and even thinking about going back makes me feel sick and I don't know how to get past that.
When you think about going to school, for instance, tomorrow morning,
Mm.
what is the moment at which your body says, I can't do this? Is it when you're in the parking lot? Is it when you're trying to get out of bed? Is it when you're getting dressed?
I feel like, I mean, even now, like I'm scared. And but then when I force myself through it, I just try not to think about it. But then as I start walking up the steps into the building, then it's like I just am frozen and I can't go any further. Like my feet are in the cement.
So that freeze response is your brain trying to protect you from this traumatic event that you've lived through. But recognize that by staying in bed or in your car or at home, um, that nightmare kind of stays in your head.
Mhm.
Um, and what if walking back into school didn't mean walking straight into the cafeteria? Or what if we could build a plan where you could enter the school from a different place or walk into a different building where it was less of sort of the trauma that's replaying through your head so that the reality, wasn't coming true in and of the fact that you're not walking straight back into the same cafeteria that you ran out of.
Mhm.
But we walk in through a different door, into a different building, take a different path, maybe a different route to school. How would that feel to you?
I'm willing to try it. Um, I think maybe having a friend with me would be helpful. Um, I used to have Rose with me, but she's not here anymore.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I guess having somebody to walk through it with would be helpful.
Yes. I'm so sorry about your friend Rose. And I know losing her has been incredibly difficult for you, but you can still carry your love for Rose with you wherever you go and taking those steps towards safety, towards a different route, towards a return to some sort of normalcy in life for you doesn't mean letting go of her. In some ways, it's honoring her memory to continue on to, you know, remember her and honor her memory, but she would want you to continue on with life and have a normal and enjoyable life as best you could in the aftermath.
Yeah, it's just hard without her. I think um, I can ask another friend to come with me. Maybe like we drive together or something and try to lean on each other.
I hear your deep sadness and the fear that you have. And I just want to commend you again for your bravery and even coming here today and opening up and talking to me. I hope that you feel like this has been a safe space for you to do that and that we can work on processing some different ways together for you to navigate a return to school that feels safe and comfortable for you.
Yeah, I do feel safe here, so thank you.
I'm gonna look at some different paths that we could take going forward, that would help you to maybe gain some control over re-entering the school and in a way that feels safe to you, if you think that that would be something that would be helpful.
Yeah, I think with the maybe a step by step versus like something to keep me focused on
Mhm.
like walking or going a different way so that I don't get stuck in the memory of it all.
Certainly. I think together we can come up with a route for that to happen.
I would like that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay. I really liked when you, at the beginning, you were challenging the narrative that I had written in my mind. And to me, that touched on that, the memory, what video from memory reconsolidation, of like having to rewrite and relearn ways to like replace the emotion with logic
Mhm.
um, and focus on that pathway versus like getting stuck in the emotional narrative of it all.
Right.
Um, so I thought that was really good. Let's see. I think you attuned well. I liked that you were the idea of taking an alternate route, I think is helpful.
I was trying to go to like changing what your brain is expecting to happen
Yeah.
versus, but it was kind of hard with re-entry
Hmm.
into the bill, you know what I mean? With, I
Yeah.
don't know, getting back, because what you're expecting obviously isn't going to be there,
Yeah.
but you can't say that. So then it's like, okay, we can work around with maybe like a different, instead of entering through the front doors, you enter through a
Mhm.
side door or whatever, so that it's different than what your brain's expecting it to be.
Yeah. And then you're not like viewing the same scene that you
Right.
were locked
Ran
in on.
from.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, so I think that was good. Let's see. Um, the attuning was good. You know, you said when you said I can hear your deep sadness, and I thought that that was very insightful and like just good attuning and reading of the situation because I did feel sad, like imagining that this was a student and um,
Absolutely.
going through something like that. And um, so, yeah, I thought that that was well done, like calling out the emotion and being present in it and then honoring it. Um, I thought was good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Um, I think I could have definitely gone down the rose path more. Um, I'm forgetting even that that is like a whole big piece of this
Piece of it.
dynamic
Yeah.
of the role play. Was that, that was the case. But
Mhm.
um, again, I think it's hard to hit on all the things in the amount of time given. And then
Yeah.
also having not ever been in the situation, I think in reality, it would present a bit differently with
Mhm.
someone who was truly coming off of, that kind of horror.
Right. And then, like, what do you process first? Do you process the event or do you process the loss? And, like, how do you do that simultaneously in a way
Right.
that feels honoring?
Naturally. Hmm.
Yeah. And so, I don't know. It feels natural to me to do the event first and then the person because you have to, like, honor that this happened, right? And then as a result of this evil event, then there's loss. And so
Right.
I think it makes sense to me in order to go in that way. But it's a lot to try to talk about in 8 minutes for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes. And certainly to try to articulate in any sort of
Yeah,
professional manner off the cuff. But anyway. Okay. So I think that we hit on everything we were supposed to.
I think so. Yeah. I'm gonna stop recording.